For decades, we were told this was progress, a green revolution that promised to feed the world. The tractor, the pesticide, the synthetic fertilizer, symbols of abundance. But in our quest for perfect-looking produce and ever higher yields, we were blind to the consequences. We traded long-term health for short-term gain. We bought into the promise without reading the fine print. And now, the fine print is coming due. The truth about chemical fertilizers and climate change starts here, in the soil. When we saturate the soil with synthetic nitrogen, we destroy its ability to sequester carbon.
Experiment is to taste the pH value of the soil. So we're going to stir the we're going to make a solution up to 60% we're going to stir the samples that is mixed with the distilled water. And we have to keep this sample for 5 minutes. I am Dr. Thokchom Lakshmi Devi, and I am an assistant professor in Manipur International University in the Department of Geology. This is a brief testing of the soil testing to see the soil health of the particular region. The soil that I have collected is from Imphal Valley only. So we're going to test the health of the soil so that we can inform the farmers with the result that we get. We can see whether the plant growth at that particular area will be more productive or not. And then accordingly we can also know the essential nutrients that is needed. After the testing also we can know that some soil have a less nutrients and which crop is more favorable for that particular plantation. Sometimes we see that that we plant some crops but the productivity at that particular region is not that much, but since the population is very high, we need high production. So with the help of the soil testing, we can improve the productivity. At the same time, if we know the soil health, then we can know the level of the pesticides after testing. Since this much of pesticide, if you put it, then the soil health will be decreasing. Then it will affect our human health also. After consuming at every level, bioaccumulation takes place, and we, the human being the last consumer, we are more vulnerable to chances of infecting various diseases after just consuming all those foods. So soil testing is very much needed in the present scenario. Thank you.
The result came out to be around 9.910 pH level. Actually, this is very alkaline for crop cultivation and for other cultivations also. For example, for rice cultivation, we need around 5.6 to 6.5 pH level for their optimum growth. For soil health, this can affect the microbial activity in the soils, and it can also affect the crop yields. It can drastically reduce the crop yield. And on human health, a very alkaline soil, it can cause micronutrient deficiencies like manganese and iron deficiencies. The farmers they have to have such awareness for their soils so that they can have a very good yield, very good products that are good for human health also. Thank you.
What we put on the ground, we put into the air. and the consequences echo back to us as more extreme weather and climate instability.
From side di pura yad de low di. Bukan sih sih saben na bagi nakan do. Adu su low wari sam nu mung ko ni.
Atlat na ya.
Glat na ising na uji pun kan lay di.
Papung di mamin digri ko.
Macau, kabay soy,
Kabay joy dikye.
The synthesis of nitrogen fertilizers requires immense amounts of energy, releasing potent greenhouse gases like nitrous oxide, 300 times more potent than carbon dioxide. Production alone contributes to climate change. The most insidious impact is on our bodies. The invisible chemicals that once promised healthy crops now threaten our health. Pesticide residue has found its way into our food and water, with links to serious health issues from neurological disorders to cancers. We're seeing links between certain pesticides and chronic diseases. The exposure is often occupational, but traces are everywhere. It's the invisible threat that's been normalized for decades.
Hello there. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, nice to meet you. And I understood why you're coming here. Of course, the problem of overuse of chemical fertilizers and the pesticide, it engulfs a whole lot of specialty in the medical science. Because as you know, our body, you cannot exclude one part from the other. But still, there are so many other diseases which can occur from overuse of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. First, it will touch the skin, and it will cause some rashes in the skin. Then you may have irritation in the eyes, then headaches, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, and diarrhea. Then difficulty of breathing like asthma, headaches, and then other respiratory problems can happen. This is in the acute stage. And if there is excessive exposure to pesticides, so if you don't protect your skin, it goes directly through your skin instead of you eating it, and it can be a poisoning, and it's life-threatening. You may have to reach the emergency in the hospital, and it needs to be treated immediately. Then chronic effects are there, which can give a lot of problems in whole systems of the body, various systems, like say in the hematology, that is the blood part, we have leukemia, that we call as blood cancer. Then in the breast, there can be breast cancer, and that is in the women. And in the men, it can be prostate cancer. Then in the lungs, there can be lungs cancer, because through breathing, you can get yourself exposed so easily. Then we have the thyroid here, in the gland of the thyroid. It can also have various cancers, So beyond the cancers, the most important thing is about our brain. Our brain can have Alzheimer, that is increased, defect in the intelligence of the brain, which will lead to forgetfulness. We call it as Alzheimer's disease, like dementia, then Parkinson's disease. Then you have other endocrine disruptions. Then even difficulty in giving birth to new babies. Say, for example, in the reproductive system, if it is exposed to a woman or even a man may have lost the capacity to reproduce. So this is definitely is a very, very big problem. And when even after getting pregnant also, the fetus, that is the child inside the womb, can be born defective because of this exposure. And there can be many developmental diseases like, say, diabetes, then developmental toxicities, etc. So to sum it up, we have got two different types of pesticides to control the pests. Another one is the fertilizers. And fertilizers like nitrates, nitrous, cadmium, and all these things, they are usually in the long run produces methylene globinemia. There is a problem in the blood oxygen carrying capacity of the blood, then cancer, then diabetes, Alzheimer's disease. So all these things are a result of the changes in the gene structure of the body because of the DNA damage due to oxidative stress. Then we have certain fertilizers which can attack the bone and the kidney. And when there is problem in the bone and the kidney, there is kidney damage. Kidney damage, unless you do kidney transplant, or we call it renal transplant, you cannot revive the person. The person will be at the deathbed. He will lose his life very quickly, because the kidney is very much essential for our living, because it has to detoxify our body from the different toxins that we produce every day. Then about the bone. When there is something wrong in the bone, when your bone becomes weak, all of your body will become weak, and you will have various fractures and different pains, body aches and everything, and then later on you'll have so many other problems related to that. Then regarding the pesticides, most of the pesticides that we are using are organophosphorus, and organophosphorus can create a lot of damage to the nervous system, because it is a nerve toxin. At the same time, in the respiratory pathways, then also in the endocrinal tissues, it can create a lot of problems. So from this, there will be neurotoxicities, then Alzheimer's, seizures, then cognitive impairment, and all these things can happen unless we do some prevention from the overuse of these pesticides and fertilizers. We will be going very much towards an epidemic. In the acute stages, you can do some treatment, but chronic illnesses, the only thing is that you have to find out from continuous monitoring of the people who are exposed to these things. Minimum yearly checkups are necessary, and there are certain preventive measures, like say using of personal protective equipments, minimum use of, or rather judicious use of these chemicals and fertilizers. So what I mean to say is that fertilizers, it goes into the soil, and from there it washes down into the water, and from there in the groundwater, then in the ponds, then rivers, then all the water bodies, it will percolate into that. Then from there it will become a very big health hazard. So the first thing is that we should understand the magnitude of the problem and its ill effects in the long run. And it's better that it is prevented. And it's all the time, there is a good saying that prevention is always better than cure. So it will save a lot of money, and instead of putting this money in the treatment and taking care of the patients, you can put it in the proper scientific use of use of fertilizers and pesticides, and giving proper training to the people who are handling it, so that it will save all of us from this health hazard.
Thank you so much for sharing your insightful knowledge to the point.
Thank you.
What we harvest is not just food, but a legacy of our agricultural choices. Our ecosystems are a fragile web of life, and we have been systematically cutting the threads. Our beloved pollinators, the bees, the butterflies, are particularly vulnerable. Pesticides and fertilizers are designed to kill, but they don't know the difference between good and bad bugs, or how to stay within the boundaries of the farm. The ripple effect is clear, from the smallest microorganisms in the soil to the fish in our rivers. The chemical tide is rising. It comes back to us in the most fundamental ways, in the water we drink and in the food we eat. The vegetables look perfect, but are they? Nitrates and phosphates from fertilizers, along with persistent pesticide residues, seep into our water tables and stay in our food. These chemicals are neurotoxins. They interfere with our nervous systems, leading to a host of health problems. The very food that should sustain us now carries a subtle poison. It's a silent, almost invisible contamination. But the science is clear. Our food and water are not as safe as they once were. But there is a different way, a path back to a more sustainable and healthier existence.
And any message to convey to the people of Manipur who are into farming business?
Yeah. For the sustainability of agriculture and of the farming sector, I must say that we should go for organic cultivation or the natural way of cultivation. That's a best way. The nature has enough to provide us, and we should not just go for this chemical way of farming, because which is very harmful, and it will be definitely harmful to humankind and also the natural environment. And if there is no the healthy human being, there's no use of the good food as well. So I think we should go for chemical-free agriculture practices.
It's not about fighting nature. It's about working with it. Building the soil, not destroying it. Regenerative agriculture focuses on building healthy soils that sequester carbon and produce more nutritious, chemical-free food. It's a key part of the solution to both climate change and food security. The path forward isn't about more chemicals. It's about more care for the earth, for our food, and for ourselves. The future depends on the choices we make today.
It's very interesting to know how you're doing the farming. I would like also know your opinion about the uncontrolled use of chemicals, fertilizer and pesticides and its impact in the region, especially in Imphal Valley.
I don't know the nitty-gritty or I don't have scientific proof, but I'm given to understand that Manipur is one of the most chemicalized states next to Punjab and Haryana. When we studied, we also knew that use of fertilizer in Manipur is highest in the Northeast. And we also came to know that there are a lot of people affected by the cancer disease. So the trend is on the rise. If you really study why it is, unlike other states, I tend to think that it is because of the use of chemicals. There is a thing called in paddy cultivation, when the paddy is fast maturing, or there is a thing called wahit taba. I don't know what scientific name that worm is, but during the time, many used to use these chemical pesticides. And they say, some of my friends who are dealing in that kind of business, says it's never enough with one time use of that chemical. They use 3 times, 4 times, sometimes 5 times. And by the time they stop using it, the paddy matures, which means the bad effects of those chemicals are still with the paddy that we take, rice that we take. I think so. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an agriculturist, and this is not a healthy trend. Next year, I will do some paddy cultivation with my organic manures, which is only for my own consumption, because people take a lot of rice here. We are primarily rice eaters. If the rice is infected with chemicals, I think it is not a healthy trend for health.
Yes, absolutely. Then any message to convey to the farmers in Manipur as well as to the consumer?
It's actually like this. Many people want to do organic farming. Or farming without chemicals. Chemicals-free farming. But we have all these chemical fertilizers. We don't have to use it if we have to do organic farming. But where is the alternative? Farmers are saying, okay, we will not use urea. What is the alternative? We don't have it.
Yes.
Even if they want to do organic farming, they don't have the alternative. That's why I started in a humble way. In some way, we must start this way.
Exactly.
So that the farmers are provided with an alternative to do chemical-less farming.
Okay.
If you don't produce organic fertilizers or organic compost, they don't have an alternative. So one of the cheapest ways to bring about more organic minerals or organic fertilizers is dairy farm.
Yes.
So if we do more dairy farm, I think we'll consume less of farmers will use less of chemicals.
How many cows do you have at the moment?
It always goes up and down because sometimes I sell it, especially the calves. There was a time when I had 42, now for 38.
Okay. That's good. Thank you so much. It's very encouraging to hear your rich knowledge. It is very encouraging indeed. So I believe that all the audience will be encouraged to see your farming. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All the best in all your interviews.
Thank you.